Hello, my name is Leanne Collado, and I'm a Grand Canyon University teacher candidate. During my last 5 years of my educational career while attending GCU, I've had the pleasure of working, observing, and teaching in many different classroom settings. I've had many years to assess myself, modify, and build on my teaching philosophy as well. Throughout my student teaching experience, I've found that my teaching philosophy has developed and changed in many ways. Prior to student teaching, I believed that learning was a lifelong process. And while that's still true, I do believe that the way students learn is what's important. I find making lessons fun and engaging so the students are more eager to learn, but also while ensuring that I'm implementing the best practices into our lessons, activities, and assessments is just as important. Most important is that each student has access to the same quality education as any other student. Some students might work best with hands-on activities to learn a lesson, while others might work better with verbal instructions. I myself am a visual learner, but my daughter's not a visual learner. And what works for one person may not work for another. So over time, I've learned many valuable techniques to teaching all types of learners. I believe that students are more motivated to learn as they enter the room each day when they have a loving and nurturing relationship with their teacher. I have a great relationship with my students that I meet as well as with the educators around me. I always make sure to make a point to be positive, supportive, and understanding when I'm in and out of the classroom, and I want to be a good role model for all my students. There have been so many adjustments during my student teaching experience, most recently with the global pandemic causing all students and schools to shift to learning full remote, which caused me to alter my student teaching philosophy in some ways, or just my teaching philosophy. But all of my previous philosophies that I mentioned have remained. I could still stay positive, caring, and understanding the virtual classroom. And speaking of virtual classroom, technology's played a major role in the daily lives of teachers and students. This may have changed the way students learn, but making sure that each child continues to get the same quality education as before is just as important. Students are able to use speech to text to speech, as well as other audio software, which has helped in both classrooms and while at home. Technology has been a great way for students to be able to work at their own pace while still learning appropriate skills that would be taught in the classroom. And I'm able to monitor students' progress through educational websites for math, reading, and other content areas. I've been able to continue with daily routines in the classroom management while online, while still providing the same level of instruction that they would receive if they were present in the classroom every day. Technology has also given the parents a look into their child's lives while attending school. This experience has brought both teachers and families closer together, which is also an important factor of my teaching philosophy, as well as my Christian worldview values. When it comes to my Christian worldview values, there's been a newfound respect for both families and educators during these times, as well as the fact that we're all learning to work as a team and become a united front. Respect, empathy, and compassion have been something that I've always instilled in myself as well as my students that I work around. And if anything, that's increased. I would implement my values of compassion, human flourishing, and behaving legally and ethically in my future classroom. And I would implement a code of conduct for myself as well as my students, which would entail having respect for and empathy for others and treating others the way that they would want to be treated. As an educator, I'll be sure to treat all students fairly, be a role model, as well as an advocate for them. This will ensure that they're receiving the best education possible. Thank you.